Welcome back to Shoot Your Shit, everybody. As always, it's your boy Lunasty, and joining me today is a man that needs no introduction, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's really, really fun to say. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one man, Mike Dell. Mike, thanks for being here, brother.
Pleasure
Awesome.
being here.
So, if I'm not mistaken, originally you're from Jersey. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That's correct. And is that where you started training to be a wrestler?
Yes.
So awesome. So if you could take us back to how you found out about the school and what made you want to do professional wrestling.
Well, the school actually opened up in a town I was hanging out in. And what wanted me to check it out was I was big into football. I played football from like 8 years old all the way through high school. But then I started partying and like an idiot, I blew it off because I was good and I was stupid. So I missed the athleticism of football, and but I was always interested in pro wrestling because I like the athleticism and the whole character driven and just everything about it. And so I went into that school and I said, "Hey, you guys got a payment plan?" Because it was like $3,000 to get trained, and so I paid $200 a month for 15 months, worked for his company, and that's how that went.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
About how old were you whenever you started that at 200 a month?
I was 26.
Okay.
I was a late bloomer.
No, I was gonna say I feel like it'd probably be a lot easier at 26, 200 a month, like if you were like a teenager or something like that.
Yeah, less scary, I guess.
You started in Jersey and you eventually moved to where I met you here at ACW. So if I may, what convinced you to go from Jersey to relocate to Texas?
Jersey is a very, very expensive state to live in.
Okay.
And it's also very cold. I mean, 3 months out of the year, you have warm months, and the rest of the 9 months, it's cold. It sucks.
Yeah.
And I just was so tired of it, so tired of the high cost of living, tired of the weather. And what happened was a friend of mine had moved to Texas, actually in Austin.
Okay.
And I came to visit him. And 2 years later, I moved. I would have moved right there and then, but I was engaged at the time. And but that didn't work out. Once me and her broke up, I took off.
Yeah.
I knew I didn't want to be in Jersey anymore.
Yeah, opposites attract, I guess, because you're talking about it being cold.
Yep.
Hot.
Yeah, I'll take the hot any day over the cold.
Yeah, and that just makes sense. So
yeah,
I mentioned earlier where I met you was in ACW in San Antonio, and the 2009 time frame is when kind of got out. I joined the Navy, but since then you've done so much more than professional wrestling. You got into acting, doing modeling, things like that. What was acting a passion of yours, or just something you kind of stumbled upon?
It was, it was something I kind of stumbled upon. I always liked the playing a character in the wrestling business, and I liked that aspect of it. So I guess I did like, that part of it. And what happened was I was working with a junk hauler, and one of his employees was an actor. This is in Austin.
Okay.
And he goes, "You got a really good look." He goes, "You should get into acting. You could do like," because he knew I was a wrestler and everything. And he saw some of my stuff and he liked my character and all that. And he said, "You could do like, like action films and stuff like that." And I was like, I go, "In Texas?" So I thought it was only like in LA and New York, places like that. I had no idea, but at the time, Austin was a big hotbed for acting.
Okay.
And so I was like, really? And I knew I couldn't stay in wrestling forever, because of the damage you do to your body. You can't, you can't stay young forever. And I wanted to stay in the entertainment business. And so I looked into acting, and I got myself an acting coach and started learning about auditioning and everything else and other aspects of acting. And I loved it. And, I was like, wow, this is what while wrestling's going on, I want to do this too.
Yeah.
It was another dream that came up. And then, so I started acting, and I never looked back.
Yeah. And you got a lot of, I saw that you got a lot of good projects that were happening and kind of still in the works.
Yeah.
At least. So and every so often you'll post stuff on your Facebook or Instagram and stuff like that with clips, and I really enjoyed the one with the man. Sorry, but I at the top of my head I can't remember. It's the one with the laser
team.
Yeah, laser team. That was really entertaining to watch because for those who haven't discovered Mike Dell yet, like you as an actor, I saw your personality in that role, that spot where he was where you said, "Did we get him?" You know, like, I don't know.
Yeah, we take him out.
Yeah, you would take
him out again.
Yeah, take him out again. Like that was.
Yeah, that movie was released theatrically. That was my first theatrical release I'd ever done.
Yeah,
and yeah, it was a proud moment. And that guy, I don't know if you've seen the new show Reacher on Amazon Prime, Alan Richardson. He's one of the main guys in Laser Team.
Oh, really?
So I could actually say, hey, I worked with that guy.
Yeah.
We just were never on set at the same time though, so I never actually got to meet him.
Yeah.
You know, it was different scenes.
But man, you're not only killing it in wrestling, man. You're on your way up, being an actor.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So with you being a wrestler, being an actor, do you have any difference in preparation for going for a character role, vice the one-man Mike Dell character?
Well, with the one-man Mike Dell character, it's basically he's very prideful. And I always, people ask me like, how would you describe him? You know, especially when I'm a heel, you know, it's basically, he's good at what he does, but the problem is he knows it. You know, so he's just a dick. You know, so, but I always try my best out there and try to put on the best show I can, you know, to give the people their money's worth, you know, regardless. But preparation for that, I kind of like, I've been doing it for so long, like I know the character that I am, and that when it comes to acting, you got to become something, you got to become a different character. You got to, you know, actually, I remember one time I did a scene for a movie called Focus Puller. The movie never was released though. It breaks my heart because I had a principal role in it. I was a main cast member, and the damn writer director never released the movie, and it looked, I even saw parts of it and it looked amazing. I'm so pissed that I never released it. But anyway, I did a scene where I was basically getting arrested, and or I could be arrested. And I did the scene, and then my director comes up, he goes, "What the fuck was that?" And I'm just like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "What the hell was that? You know, I need more from you." And so I was like, "All right, give me a second." So I started thinking back to times that I've been arrested. And it's a really scary thing when you get arrested, you know? So this is the first time I'd ever tried this. I was like, you know, to really get into the role, I thought about being arrested during the scene and acting out the lines. And the director thought it was amazing. And he was just like, and I'm shaking because I'm still in character, you know? And I was just like, what the hell is wrong with me? You know, because I had never done that before. And so I started learning, like, you know, that's like when you read about actors who go crazy when they play nutty roles, they go crazy in real life, you know, because they just get so entrenched in the role that they don't know what's real and what's not. So it's fantastic. It's a fantastic feeling to really become a character or you know, someone that you're not, and really pull it off.
Well, especially with today's day and age, how it's really crazy to see what's real and what's not in professional wrestling.
Right.
Back to that. So did you feel like it was a pretty smooth transition, you know, with wrestling and acting in that aspect of?
Yeah, wrestling definitely helped a lot. I was used to being in front of a camera, you know, I used to, you know, I mean, being on the microphone is not the same as acting, but you know, you're talking and stuff like that. And when I started seeing my acting coach, she said that, she goes, "I don't think you need acting classes because you've been acting, you know, a character for years." And, you know, and she said, you just need to learn how to do stuff. Like when you got to learn how to audition, you have to learn to what's called slating. You know, when you slate, you say your name, your agency, your height, whatever they ask for. So I would have went into an audition if I never saw her, and it would have been like, "All right, you know, slate for me." I would have been like, "What the fuck is that?" You know, so it was good to go to her, but she taught me how to, you know, audition for commercials, audition for movies, audition for TV, all different kinds of stuff. There's a lot of stuff to learn that I had no idea that was going on. And I've taken a couple of acting classes on top of having an acting coach at one point.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I think you'd be hired on the spot just coming in. Slate for me. One man Mike Dell.
Yeah. What more do you need? Give me the damn part.
So, and that actually, because you mentioned being a heel, that kind of was leading into what I was going to ask next.
Okay.
What do you prefer in the one man Mike Dell character? Is it more fun to be the heel, or do you enjoy more kind of being a face, proud living character?
I enjoy different aspects of both. Mm-hmm. I think there's more to a heel that I enjoy, because a heel, you can really interact with the audience more. Mm-hmm. Like a face, baby face, you can get in the mic like, hey, I'm in this town and, I'm with these people and, there's only so much you can say and you're kind of limited.
Yeah.
And I always never liked that about that. So mainly when I was a heel and a face, I kind of kept the same character. Just I was a little nicer. But heel was a lot more fun. I feel it was a lot more fun. You can really dig into my acting chops and really, piss people off. There's been times where I've sat there and said a bunch of stuff and they're still cheering me. I'm just like, no, you're supposed to hate me. And one thing leads to another, and also I'm a damn face,
Like his burns were so good, I have to cheer this guy. That was good.
Yeah, exactly. That happened a lot in my career, so which is humbling. I was kind of happy about that. So.
Yeah. And you being in heel, what is off the top of your head one of the craziest fan reactions of you being in heel that you've
had? The craziest fan reaction. I remember I was in Mississippi and I was in it was an opera hall. Mm-hmm. And so like the seats were like coming down like this, and then there was the ring. So there was nothing beside us. There's nothing behind us. There's only everyone in front going up like this. And the crowd was, I liked the crowd actually, because they were saying a lot of stuff, but they weren't being dicks, I guess you could say.
Okay.
They weren't being really disrespectful. Even if they were, it was actually made me laugh, some of the stuff they said. And like one guy kept, trying to mess with me. He was in a wheelchair and he was like, you can't wrestle. And I kind of stood up and I said, you can't do this, just to be an asshole. And the guy starts cracking up. He thought it was hilarious, and I was just like, wow, he could have really probably took out a gun and shot me at that point, but I knew that he was really nice and he wasn't going to take anything personally. Like I can't stand when, an audience member takes something personally. You're here to see people perform. We're not going to, beat the shit out of you.
Those have the hashtag cancel Mike Dell.
Yeah. But that was one of the times that it was getting pretty loud. It was getting really, really loud. And that's when I said that to that guy, and everyone else saw it, and they're laughing and he's laughing and we're all of a sudden I'm laughing in the friggin' ring. I'm just like, what the hell's going on here? I'm supposed to be the heel here, So
like we mentioned earlier, just having a good time. Everyone's fun. You're trying to be the bad guy, but it's like we're enjoying the performance.
Yeah. There was nothing I could say to this audience that was going to piss them off.
Yeah.
Like, for example, what I said, I was like, wow, they don't even get mad at that. My God. So not that I'd ever be disrespectful, but just, I like it. So
it just comes with the territory. Smack talk things.
Yeah, back talk.
So with like I said, your long career, because it started late 90s, early 2000s.
1999.
99. What is a match that you haven't been in that you would like to try?
Wow. That's a good one. You mean like a type of match or a person I'd like to wrestle?
Well, yeah, type of match.
Type of match. Okay. Well, I've done cage. I've done ladder. I've done TLC.
Nice.
I'm trying to think of what others there are. I have no notion to be in any kind of death match. I'm too damn pretty for that. And man, I mean, I've done, because it's been such a long career. I mean, I feel like I've done, almost everything under the sun as far as like, regular wrestling shows. I'm not talking death matches or any of that. I've never dabbled in that. Not that I have anything against it. Those guys they're out there making money, and more power to them. It just wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
But no, there's really nothing out there that I could think of. I mean, I did beer on a pole match one time. What more can there be?
Yeah, that's everybody's fantasy booking right there. Like,
hell yeah, it was on my birthday. The show fell on my birthday, and I went against Rudy Russo in a beer on a pole match.
Did you win that one?
Yep, of course.
There we go, on your birthday.
I'm man, Mike Dell.
Perfect matchup right there. But yeah, I wasn't too fond of hardcore matches either. So it was coming up to my time to end in ACW, and I was like, yeah, please, nothing. My last match was with my brother against Darren and Jacob Ladder and a no rope barbed wire. It's like, thanks, guys.
Oh my God. Yeah, I remember when I was champion. That was one of my favorite title runs, when I was champion of ACW. Yeah. And what was great about it was I was this guy, like this, sort of like pretty boy guy that was totally opposite of what ACW was. ACW was anarchy, championship wrestling, hardcore, blah, blah, blah. And I was the champion. I was nothing of the sort. I was like straight wrestling, straight down the middle. And, I'm just going to show what I can do. And I'm going to kick everyone's ass, And meanwhile, you have my nemesis, Showtime Scott Summers, doing the direct opposite.
Yeah.
So it was just like, and somehow, some way we'd meet up that same year and for a title or something, which was fantastic. But I loved working for that company. That company was a lot of fun. And, I guess it's still going, right? Is ACW still on the map?
Yes. Well, I'm not sure, because I know pre-COVID, we were supposed to do a show, and I was invited back, which is awesome, since it's been like a decade since I've been in. But
wasn't it? They talked to me. It was supposed to be like it was supposed to be in San Antonio, right?
Yeah, at the venue.
Yes. Darren had contacted me about that. And he goes, "Would you come back?" And I said, "I wouldn't miss it for the world."
Yeah, exactly.
And but then COVID happened, and it fucked it up. But I would have been back in a heartbeat.
Exactly. Especially, like I said, at the venue. I mean, so much history.
I know, man. That's where it all started.
Yeah, exactly. So, actually, my brother did drywall there. We gotta get some nice reviews after that.
Right.
So besides the venue, your opera house, things like that, not promotion wise, but more like location and or venues, what was your favorite place to wrestle at?
My favorite place. There was a few like venues that are set up like really nice. I mean, like for instance, with Dogg Pound Championship Wrestling, Woodlawn Gym, that's a beautiful venue. Yeah, I think that place is set up, the way it's set up and everything, it's like made for wrestling. I love that venue. I love the venues we had in Louisiana, working for Wildcat Wrestling, Luke Hawks's promotion.
Yes.
He had like some big gymnasiums that we worked in, and he would have like 1,000 people in those places. It was just unreal. Let's see. Galveston, when I wrestled AJ Styles, Galveston had a very huge venue that was really nice. But I can't think of like, this was the best place ever. Okay. There's just a few that I remember, that still crossed my mind. There was a place that was in Temple, Texas, that we only wrestled at it once, but man, it had like an upstairs where you look over the railing. Yeah. And we had the downstairs, and then we were right in the middle. It was a circle. It was just like, it looked like old ECW arena. Yeah. And then I wrestled in ECW's arena in Philadelphia for Wildcat. So I wrestled in that arena as well. And that was a very nice arena. Awesome. So I put those up there.
So Wildcat travels as well?
Yeah. I mean, I traveled to California, San Diego, and wrestled out there for them. Oh, wow. We got into 2 big buses, 15 people on each bus, and took off for California.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because I was trying to link up with you. Unfortunately, I think I was traveling at the time for Wildcat not too long ago here in New Orleans.
Yeah,
because that's where I'm at now. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just they say they're coming. They're going to come back again.
Yeah.
But, I hope so.
Yeah, because like I said, I actually bought tickets and I had to sell them off. So like I said, just random things like that.
Yeah.
But you mentioned Dogg Pound Championship Wrestling, and was it Saturday the 26th?
Yes, sir.
You're going against Mr. Haas Holden for the pound for pound championship. All right.
Yep.
So these are what if questions. The next two. All right. So worst case scenario, and I'm not saying it's happening, but event do not come up successful. What are the plans for Mike Dell at Dogg Pound? Are you gonna keep chasing, or are you trying to work with some of the other hot and young talent that they have there?
I kind of take things one at a time. I mean, right now, my thoughts are on Haas. I want that title. I want that title, and I'll take that title and take the company into a new direction or whatever you have you. After I whoop his ass, but then after that, I mean, all the gates are blown open. I'd like to work with anybody there. I already worked at Rodney, which was a pleasure. He got lucky. But Haas, he got me disqualified this last match. So this time it ain't happening. I'm not leaving without that belt.
I'm not just saying this because you're here right now, but if you remember during the last show when they announced, actually back in even when you were working Rodney and then the first match with Haas, I was putting everywhere one man. Let's go one man everywhere. Just Mike Dell. That was my pick. So you were my pick, Mike. These things are time stamped and backdated. I was going for one man Mike Dell. So you got Dell Haas 2 coming up. And I know you said just a second ago that you take things, one step at a time. Now here's best case scenario. One man Mike Dell gets that championship. Are you going to allow for a rematch or say, hey, I'm taking a step back. Y'all fight it out, and whoever's the best out of you guys takes it up. But what's next when Mike Dell wins the title?
Well, if it's my decision, I mean, once I get that title, I would, if he wanted a rematch, I'd give him a rematch. I'd beat his ass again just to prove I'm the pound for pound champion. There's a nice ring to that. One man Mike Dell, the pound for pound champion. It sounds better than, I give Haas all the credit in the world for what he's done, coming into the business so late, in age. And I've known Don for a long time, Haas. I literally worked for him. He was my promoter for Southern Championship Wrestling. And guess who had all his titles? That was me. I had his heavyweight, I had his open division, I had his tag titles. I ran that place.
Yeah. So, and if we're going to get old, who ran the place? It only took one man.
It only took one man to run that place, and I did.
So. Okay. Back whenever you first started, when I met you, we were in a time of, MySpace surveys and things like that.
Yeah.
Different time and age. We were bringing CDs as our music. So one of the things that I like to do in these shoot to shit interviews is have what I call like a shoot to shit speed routes. These are like random thrown out kind of speed questions. So if I may, we're gonna do a few of these here. So one man Mike Dell, what is your favorite drink?
Favorite drink?
Yeah.
Like beer is my favorite drink.
Okay, yeah. Which what?
Which beer? My favorite beer, I would say, is an Italian imported beer called Peroni.
Nice.
Yeah. Not sure if you've ever had it, but it's my favorite.
Now I'm gonna look it up because I have to. Yeah, Mike Dell approved. So
Mike Dell approved.
Favorite band or artist?
Probably my favorite band would probably be Wasp.
Okay.
You know, I mean, there's a few others that are up there with them, but that's like they were my main focus all when I was growing up. I mean, I love that band. You know, I still, you know, they're still making albums and I still listen to them.
Still blasted them.
Still blasting them.
So you mentioned this earlier, so I'm gonna kind of go out there. What is a fantasy singles match that you'd love to have, and fantasy tag team match that you'd like to have?
Fantasy singles match. I would have loved to have faced, I mean, you probably hear this a lot. I would have loved to have faced Shawn Michaels back in the late 90s.
Okay.
His whole look. And I take him in the late 90s and take me in 2011 and put us together. Because that's when I was in the best shape of my life. And we were both jacked and, you know, and well, more jacked than I am now. And, you know, I would have loved to have had that clash of styles. You know, that probably would have been it. I mean, you know, I always liked AJ, but I actually, you know, and, you know, I've got to, in my career, I was able to wrestle a couple of my idols, like AJ Styles, I always loved, and I got to wrestle him. And Jerry Lynn, he was one of my favorites in ECW. I got to wrestle him. I didn't get to wrestle Jericho. I wanted to wrestle Jericho. I never got the chance. You know, and of course, Shawn, it never happened. So, but yeah, that'd probably be
it. All makes sense. Both in San Antonio, patented drops. You got that devastating Delbo.
The Delbo, baby.
In that arsenal. And so, and tag team, who would you love to have faced as far as tag teams?
Tag teams. Like who would be my partner and who would I face?
Yeah, partner. Who would you guys go against?
My partner would be either Houston Carson, because we were partners. We did that ABC gimmick for a while, you know, Arrogance, Beauty, and Charisma, which was a fun ride. You know, or Showtime Scott Summers. But as far as facing a tag team, man, what tag team do I want to face? Anytime, right? Like we're talking.
Yeah.
Okay. Anytime. I think we would have gotten our asses handed to us against the Legion of Doom. You know, and Axe and Smash. But I like those. The British Bulldogs.
Okay.
During their
top
time, like the late 80s.
That's a good
that they were like my favorite tag team, you know, at one point of all time.
Dell and Summers against the British Bulldogs.
So, think of that, man.
You're a jacked, good-looking man.
Thank you.
Married, you know, so.
Yep.
And Scott Summers is not somebody that, you know, you'd want to come up and start trouble with.
Right. He gives off that aura.
Be a great, fun matchup. So you mentioned with Carson that you were tag team. I think when I saw you once, it was with was it Rory Fox as well?
Yeah, we were the Sexy Foxadelics.
Yeah. So
yeah, me and Rory were a tag team for a while. I miss him. I haven't talked to him in a long time. I think sometimes we'll talk to each other like from Twitter here and there, but it's been a while. But the last time I literally talked to him was when you remember Spiro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when he passed away. You know, he was my best friend, you know, him and Showtime and Carson were my best friends in the business. And James Claxton. And it was, you know, I was devastated when he died, but he was a part, Rory and Spiro were a part of making me champion at ACW. Remember, they were the ones that helped me get the title. So, you know, Spiro and Rory knew each other. So I found out that Spiro had passed before Rory did. So I immediately called him. I said, hey, bro, you're not going to believe this, but Spiro's gone, you know? So that was the last time I truly like sat there on the phone and talked to him for like a half hour or 45 minutes, which is sad, but you know, I always loved Rory. He was a good guy. He is a good guy. He's not dead.
Yeah. And I'll get into him in a second. Where I was getting at with this is, I said, I've seen you in tag action. Not only are you a great singles performer, you're a great tag team wrestler as well. You know, great storytelling, great chemistry, and things like that with whoever you're paired against. So with that being said, how did you come up with or get the one-man moniker?
You know, that's funny you asked that after mentioning tag team stuff. When I first started wrestling, I did not want to do tag team matches. I wanted to do one-on-one singles matches.
Okay.
And there was Stone Cold Steve Austin. So I was just like, and I used to refer, before I started wrestling, I used to refer to myself in the third person with my buddies. And I'd call myself one man. I'd be like, well, you know, the Super Bowl's on, you know, one man's going to be there, you know, help the Broncos kick their ass, you know?
Yeah.
And so when it came to my wrestling, everyone's like, you got to call yourself one man. You got to call yourself one man. I was like, well, I can't just call myself one man. And, but I liked it because I was like hoping that they would just put me in singles matches because it only takes one man to whoop your ass.
Yeah.
So I came up with the moniker One Man Mike Dell, similar to Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's how I got it. Okay. And guess what my first title was?
Tag.
Yep. Me and a wrestler named Dave Delicious. My first title belt was a tag team title belt.
That's great.
Yeah.
No, what was it? Delicious?
Dave Delicious.
Dave Delicious. And Mike Dell being tag team champions.
We were popular. It was in Jersey, and we were like one tag team of the year, and you know, because they had a local cable station that was on in like 2 states. So I learned how to wrestle on TV.
Oh, really?
So I learned hard cam and all that stuff and all that, like when I was being trained.
Yeah.
You know, which really helped. You know, when I got down here, I'm like, "Where's the hard cam?" And they were just like, "How'd you know about that?" You know, I'm just like, "Oh, I was trained on this shit."
Yeah.
You know,
it's weird because it's kind of like what Slumdog Millionaire. You know, like he knew all these questions and these answers because of things that happened in his life. So you're already ready for.
Oh yeah, I was ready.
The camera, the show.
Make me a superstar.
Yeah, set up for success. So, wrestling, acting. Get your own action figure.
Yeah.
So I said at the beginning, like it's kind of like one of these like MySpace surveys, whatever, like just things that we can do to like know Mike Dell the person. So on top of that, what is a random fun fact that not many people know about you?
The one I usually tell people, I'm a huge animal lover. I mean, shit, I have 6 black cats that live with me and my wife and my stepkids. And, you know, and we had a dog, she's since passed, but, you know, and my cat that I had for like 14 years passed a few years ago. But we have these, what happened was we took in a stray black cat and we used to let it come in and out. And one day we noticed it was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I was like, what the hell's wrong with this thing? And then boom, has 6 kittens. I'm like, and they're all black, every single one of them. And then we're like, okay, we're not letting the cat out anymore. The cat escapes one night, comes back pregnant. I was like, you little slut. Has 7 cats, all black.
Oh,
so we gave away a bunch of the cats, but we were left with, not counting the mother, we were left with 5 of them.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm a huge animal. I love dogs, cats. I mean, shit, rats, you know, anything, you know, I mean, I think a lot of people do know that about me, but that's something that probably the average Joe wouldn't know about me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
One man, one wife, shit tons of animals.
Shit tons of animals. If I ever get rich and famous, well, I'm already famous. Well, I will definitely have a charity for animals. That's for sure.
Yeah, great to know. And it's that one man has a heart.
It's actually, yes, it actually beats too. You believe it?
So, like I said, you've been in for a while, and I'm not sure if you kind of do seminars or work with people, but whenever it's time for in the way future, because you have plenty of miles and gas left in the tank, but are you ever planning on, you know, being a trainer or opening up your own gym, anything like that?
You know, people ask me that a lot, and I really don't have the want to do that. I always told people I'm never going to be that when it comes to, I'm never going to be that wrestler that wrestled past his time. Like he should have stopped, you know, because I always want to be the top guy. And as soon as I can't be the top guy anymore, I'm gone. I'm out. And as far as like, you know, training people and stuff like that and all that, I never wanted to be a coach. I always wanted to be the player.
Okay.
You know, and plus because of acting, you know, that's my main focus is the acting, you know. So even when the wrestling ends, my full 100% focus is acting. So I wouldn't be able to do it anyway, you know.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that's the best answer I got for that question.
There you go. It's like take away his year of coaching, but it's kind of like Tim Duncan. You know, you're a starter, and the moment you're going to be taken off the bench, like, well, I don't need to be doing this anymore. You know, if I ain't.
Yeah. It's just, you know, it would be hard to be around, you know, something that was such a big part of my life, and it's something I was very good at.
Yeah.
To just, you know, to just be around it as a manager or be around it as a commentator, or, you know, or I mean, I wouldn't mind helping people like with seminars and stuff like that. You know, I'd love to do seminars on how to be a character, and, you know, because of my acting experience and all that stuff. You know, I remember one time I was at Wildcat, and one of the wrestlers, he was doing a promo in the back about a match he had with this other guy. He's like, yeah, I'm going to beat you up. I'm going to do this and that. You know, he basically sounded very monotone. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? So I went around the corner, and I said, what the hell was that? And they stopped the camera, and they're like, Dell, what are you doing? I'm just like, wait a minute, let me just talk to him for a second. So I talked to him. I was like, dude, if you were getting in a real fight with this guy, would you really be going, hey, I'm going to kick your ass? He's like, well, no. I was just like, then what are you doing, bro? It was like, think in your fucking mind that this guy wants to kill you. Yeah. And you want to kill him. You know, think that he murdered your mother or something. And sure enough, he gets on that. The second time he did it, he knocked it out of the park. You know, it was just, you know, I could do stuff like that after, you know, it's all over and done with. That I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, so. You'd be a definite great brain picker, you know. Send me around from, you're going to be sorry. We're going to fight.
Yeah, it was just like, what the hell is this?
Well, and okay, on that note, so whether it's acting, whether it's wrestling, and like I said, I was going to bring up Rory Fox as well. So I asked about random fun fact earlier. What is a random piece of advice that you would give to somebody coming up, like I said, acting or wrestling? So like Rory Fox wearing something underneath his trunks in case it splits, or like telling
poor Rory. Yeah, never that happened to him. We were tag team at that point when it happened to him. The best advice I could give was advice that I should have taken when I was younger in the business. If you're going to do it, either the acting or the wrestling, put 100% into it. I did the stupid thing when early in my wrestling career. I also had a full-time job, and the job came first, and that's where I fucked up. I should have been doing all those shows. I should have been, you know, busting my ass, you know, and stuff like that. And I really do believe I would have made it if I had done that, because I felt I had a look. I felt I was really talented, and people have told me, they're like, why? I remember Rikishi told me, he goes, why aren't you signed? Why aren't you in Connecticut right now? When I did a show with him after he watched me wrestle in a match with him, I was like, I guess I don't know, and but I just wasn't around enough. And so if you're gonna do it, just do that. You know, I mean, yeah, you got to eat, but don't put that in front of doing that.
Yeah.
You know, and the same with acting. You know, you gotta, you know, bust your ass, and you know, once you get an agent, the agent helps out a lot and stuff like that. You know, and getting you auditions and stuff. But you know, take it seriously. You know, you get a script. Don't just sit there and be like, oh, I'm gonna memorize it and just say the lines. Memorize the fucking thing and then become a damn character, and then do the audition. That's the way it works.
Be then, or Mike Dell will get you.
I'll get you. Yeah.
He'll stop the camera and set you straight. So, all right, Mike. So it's my last one before we take it home. You ready for this?
Yep.
All right. So, what are your predictions for Dell versus Haas 2 at Dogg Pound Championship Wrestling, Saturday, February 26th? Who's leaving as the champ?
And the new Dogg Pound Championship Wrestling Pound for Pound Champion, one man, Mike Dell.
And it did roll off the tongue.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. So is that prediction Mike Dell approved?
That's a spoiler.
Is it Mike Dell approved?
It's Mike Dell. Mike Dell certified.
That's what it is. Damn
yeah.
it. Okay, I'll redo that. Is that Mike Dell certified?
That's Mike Dell certified, yes.
All right. So everybody, you heard it here. Dogg Pound Championship Wrestling, the new pound for pound. Oh, sorry. One man, Mike Dell, pound for pound champion. So like guys, y'all need to check out One Man Mike Dell on Twitter, Instagram at One Man Mike Dell, and the link on the description for YouTube. We're gonna go ahead and put in that IMDb page so y'all can check out some of Mike Dell's work.
Yeah, one of my movies that's still out on Amazon Prime is when I'm a bad guy in it and I kill people and I get a big fight scene at the end and all that. It's called The Elite, Elite. If you want to look up that movie, you can see that on my IMDb.
Yeah.
Which movie it is, so you know which one to pick when you go to Amazon Prime. There's also a bunch of other movies I'm in, but that movie I'm in a lot of. You know, I mean, some of the movies I've only got like one scene, two scenes, but you know that's how you work up to getting bigger parts in the movie. So.
Yeah, we're gonna throw that in there. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna review.
Hell yeah!
We're gonna just y'all tag Mike Dell whenever.
Please do.
Because I don't know if you've ever seen him be a bad guy. It's not really.
Yeah, you don't want to be around me.
Not common seeing Mike Dell as a bad guy, but like I said, y'all need to check out Dogg Pound Championship Wrestling as Mike Dell once again is going to go for that pound for pound championship against Haas Holdings Saturday, February 26th. You know, or you can catch that on TSW Plus.
Yes,
you can catch that on TSW Plus. So there we go. And lastly, Mike, thank you again for being on today, brother.
Thanks for having me.
All right, man. You take care.
You too, buddy.